Well, we had the title pretty early on. Like, as soon as we were finished with our first record, kind of just came to me, and I don't know. I just wanted something that flowed like the first one.
The Dr. Pepper.
And there's Dr. Pepper, and we saw the Virgin Mary and Dr. Pepper, and she
Really?
told us what it was going to be.
You saw the
That's
Virgin
usually
Mary.
how we
Saw
get
her, too?
the songs of titles and things like that. Mark had come up with this idea to do a video that looked like a fake movie. Basically make a fake movie and then do the trailer for that movie. We had kind of wanted something that was celebratory. Originally we were going to crash a pep rally, but pep rallies had been done before. And he originally wanted us in high school, but we look kind of old, so we didn't want to be in high school. I don't know if we look kind of old, but we're older than we probably look. So we said, could you put us in a prep school? And he was cool with that.
So we wanted to make it kind of like a Rushmore meets
Yeah.
Others meets, I don't know.
We kind of all come together and just, we all bring everything to the table. And then as far as lyrics go, I kind of let the music tell me what it's going to be about.
Right.
And that's really cool because they're all really different songs that way.
We'll all play together, and he'll sing too. Like he'll just
Right.
freestyle over like the music, so we get an idea of where the vocal melody's gonna go, and then we can write to it.
Around it. Yes, very excited about it. I think it goes all over the country.
Who's going to be out there with you?
Well, The Used.
Yep.
is-
Nice.
Kill Switch
Kill
Engage.
Switch Engage.
Converge.
Census failed.
Yeah, Census Fail, our good friends from also from Jersey. Who else? Is on
Under
it?
Oath.
Under Oath. Yeah.
Nice.
The next single I think is going to be Helena, right,
Probably.
guys?
Yeah.
We're
Well,
actually discussing a video right now.
What about the video? What kind of stuff?
We're right now the only thing we're talking about is a funeral,
Yeah?
but we're also talking to Mark Webb again, who did the last video, because we
Sure.
love such he did such a great job.
That was awesome.
So, and he's talking about choreographed dancing. We went to Mark, and Mark does all our videos, so we went to Mark and we said, hey, we want a funeral. So he goes, all right, can we put dancing in it? And I said, all right, sure. And then it was really that simple. And then, but we had a lot of hand in like what we wore and stuff. We picked a lot of that stuff and art direction-wise. But, you know, Michael and Tracy came up with her dance, and Michael came up with the dance for all the dancers, and it was really Mark's vision. We're doing our first headlining tour in the fall with Reggie and the Full Effect and Alkaline Trio.
Yeah!
That's going to be nice.
And, you know, we're friends, like lifelong friends with Alkaline and Reggie, and they're just great guys, so we're excited. But it's our first step into production, and we actually have
Very
something, I think, you know, very exciting for that, right?
Yeah, it's really exciting to have it's the first tour that we've done that's been like, you know, like the big MCR tour with, with full production and lights and.
Last year we played the
Good
Maurice
stuff.
stage, which is a great stage because you have like everything to prove, nothing to lose, and you know, we just saw some footage last night of some of those performances last year, and they were amazing, you know, and this year was just awesome, though. It's like you'd come out and you would know exactly what your show was going to be like that day, and you knew it was going to be amazing. The fans really carried that tour, though, you know. Without them being there, there's no reason to do it, so
And what were some of the highlights,
let's see.
in your opinion?
We were really low-key that whole tour.
My worst experience of Warped Tour is hitting myself in the face. Remember that
Yeah,
show?
we were
Hit
playing and he hit
I
himself.
kept hitting myself in the head for some reason. I never do it ever. But I hit myself in the head, and it was like a
Your
grape-
stool might have been turned one notch too high.
I actually still have like a little tiny bump, but it was like a grapefruit. Then I started getting dizzy, and me being dizzy made me hit myself
So
in the
bad.
head
He was getting
again.
so angry, and his head was just getting huge. You know
But
what
you
I mean?
didn't notice that you were hitting
It was
yourself?
swelling.
You
I
weren't?
did, and then as we're playing, like I have guys holding ice on my head as we're playing, so I don't pass out.
What else?
It was
Oh, and
horrible.
Credit cards.
And credit cards
people
thrown up.
found the need to throw credit
Credit
cards
cards.
every day.
Not theirs, I'm sure. Not their own credit cards.
Not their own,
We
just...
taped them to
Yeah,
Bob's. kick
We
drum.
taped it on top of my
Oh.
drum and had a collection.
This is a new
Home
one.
show pants explosion. Minutes before we're going on, I'm stretching. I wear tight
Spontaneous
pants,
combustion.
you know.
Yeah.
Crotch explodes. You know, Mikey's like, you gotta change. He freaked
Wardrobe
out.
malfunction.
He's you gotta go back to the bus and put on a different pair of pants.
Family jewels
Dude.
out.
So it was like blue underwear everywhere. So
We got a lot of designs, over
Over
4,000. So
Wow.
yeah, we would get like these discs, and we'd look at them on the computer and narrow them down, and then narrow them down again, and we finally came down to one. And
yeah,
it's cool.
they were all great.
Yeah,
though.
they were all
like,
great.
It was really amazing, and a lot of them were very different. Like some of them were silly, some just had all different things. So it was
Lots
cool
of blood.
to see. It was great
Yeah.
to just see. Yeah, there was lots of blood, but it was great to see everybody be so creative, and that was the best part. So
How were you able to select just one?
narrowed
Like a
it
big
down.
headache?
You start to narrow it down to about 10, and then from the
then-
10 you get to 5, and then after the 5 you get to the 1. And that's what we did.
And the shirt's going to be sold as a benefit?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Half of it goes to Toys for Tots, and
the other half
is Hurricane Relief.
That's
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
great.
Yeah, I've designed since I was like 17. When I was in a
okay.
band, so I kind of did it for my band, and just as you know, it's fun. So I just do it for fun.
Well, the band here has a cool surprise for you.
Yeah.
Frank,
Especially,
that.
especially Frank. Man. Look at his face! Look at his face! There it is!
And there you have it. There it is.
There we go.
Nice. Josh's design. Very cool.
Like a lot, like
Almost
very
drowning.
heavily creative
Yeah.
in that video. I actually kind of, I wrote a treatment, I sent it to Mark, and then he sent back like a revised one that had a lot of cool stuff. Like actually, Mikey getting shot is Mark's idea, and a lot of those things like the
Nice.
ocean on the dance floor,
Yes.
that's Mark
Oh,
as well.
gorgeous.
So he had a lot of stuff he specifically wanted, but so anyway, yeah, we worked really collaboratively on that. Yeah.
We sat on the beach actually and watched them like, because they filmed the dance floor first, and then they had like a still of that, and they knew where the couples were gonna be, and then they would go to the beach scene, they'd be on the beach, and they would have to place these different like rocks and what's that X thing, the wooden,
I forgot what those are called.
the big steel
Things
thing.
that hurt
Yeah.
when you
Yeah,
run into
The
a
exactly.
jacks.
So they
They
put
were
that like,
even on the
and then
set,
look
they
at the
call them
screen,
jacks.
and then they'd move it, and then they'd look at the screen, and then move it, and it has to be like exactly lined
Yeah.
up so that
And
it
it kind of
fade in.
overlapped it right over the beach. So then they just shot it right there and then overlapped it
At
later
first,
on.
it was so interesting, and then it got real boring.
We're going with completely no timelines. Like, we're not going to be done by a certain point. We're not going to have anything released at a certain point. We're going to get it until we're happy,
Yeah.
and there's no rush to it, which is going to make it. We're going to be way more happy with it.
Right now, it actually seems more nonfiction and kind of like self-observing. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say. There's a lot of like self-hate and a lot of weird things in there. A lot of. It's kind of aware of it. Yeah, it's kind of aware of itself. It kind of the songs we're writing kind of know that they're songs that are following up revenge in a way, but not in a cheeky way or kind of artsy-fartsy way. Like, but we're trying to push it as much as we can. We realize we can't deliver anything less than something groundbreaking or phenomenal. It's not going to cut it. So it's a tall order on ourselves.
Nice.
A Life on the Murder Scene.
Isn't it like like 3 discs?
It's 3 discs.
It's everything.
One disc is like the documentary, which is pretty honest, and we didn't really pull anything out of it. There's a lot of pretty brutal stuff that happens in it, and very honest stuff. And then what's the other one? Is live performances, and then an audio CD which has some stuff from the revenge sessions that didn't make it.
Oh, wow.
And
Same situation as the record too. It's like we had it done, and then we're like, oh, we want to change this, and then oh, we want to add this, and we kind of put all dates aside until we were happy with it, and now we're happy with it.
Every time you go to make a new record, you really kind of have to become a new band. And for this record, it's such a strong concept that involves this character called the Patient. And I've kind of, had this theory that I like to believe that when you die, death comes for you however you want. So for this particular character called the Patient, who's dying tragically young, his father took him to a parade when he was a boy, and that's his strongest memory. So death comes to him as a black parade. And when we made this record, we found that we challenged ourselves in ways that, we never even thought possible. We really had to become a new band. And to channel that energy and be these characters on this record, I think we became this band called the Black Parade. And it's kind of our alter ego. The Black Parade, really almost feels like a brand new thing or a brand new idea. And I think it's because this time, instead of having a concept ahead of time like we did during Revenge, we let the concept come out of what the songs were about. And as much as we tried, I think the songs ended up being about death and ultimately life. And that's we never really talked about life before. And we never really talked about mortality. And that started to creep in, and then it was just something, the title really just kind of found us from the songs. And that's how that happened. So I think it's more pure that way. It's more natural, and the story flows very tightly because of that. And also metaphorically throughout, it's a mirror of our lives. It was the kind of thing, the Black Parade chased after you when you were making it. It was it sounds over dramatic, but it was really like that. We didn't do we did 4 things when we were in LA, I think. 4 or 5 things, tops. It was that consuming, and it just relentlessly followed you wherever you went. Any band that makes a record as hard as this one was to make, when you're following up some kind of success, I think you go through mentally a lot of different challenges, and I think that we probably didn't face anything that a lot of other bands didn't. I think we were just so secluded from the world that we had to face them very hard, and I think we had to look them straight on. And we were completely cut off from society up in this house up in Silver Lake that was just gated. Nobody wanted to come up there. You couldn't even order food there. You couldn't get cell phone service there. There was no phone lines there. There was no heat there. He, approached us very interested. We were very interested in him, and it was really magical how it came together, and he did a lot of amazing things with Green Day. I mean, he was able to see that band from this point in their career all the way to this point and watch them grow and change and help them grow and change. And that was also something that was really important because we needed to change a lot. We wanted to. I mean, it was going to get boring if we just stayed the same. So it was just like everything had to change, But the spirit and the fight and the intensity and the passion was always the same. It was always still there. The vision was basically the same too. So that's, I think, why it's still us. He said the System of a Down thing, and I was like, well, I get why you would say that, because they have a lot of eclectic tastes jammed into their music. But I mean, obviously the Doors thing, Mama was influenced by Alabama Song by the Doors, just like a smidge, and just to get that rhythm going, and Queen. Obviously, he had heard stuff in our old record where it sounded like Queen, and he wanted to actually pull that out of us more. And then he knew how much, we loved The Wall by Pink Floyd and how much we loved Sgt. Pepper's by the Beatles. And that's really when it started it was those three records. It was Queen's Night at the Opera, The Wall, and Sgt. Pepper's kind of started to fuse in our heads together. And we had this crazy sound that had horns at times, it had glockenspiels, it had crazy things in it, strings, and
stuff we can't even spell.
Yeah, stuff we can't spell.
With any song, the minute I hear it, it brings me back somewhere immediately. Like, I was talking about this last night. Joe Jackson, Stepping Out. Whenever I hear it, I think of the doctor's office, the dentist's office, the supermarket. I want this to be just like that. I want it to be important enough for people to hear it and go, oh, this was that time that we were driving, we were on this road trip, Like, I want it to be one of those albums, like kind of like a moment in time, like a milestone.
I would describe this one, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge was getting the aggression out, kind of battling the demons, and dealing with a lot of anger, internal anger that had built up over the years. This record was more about kind of battling the demons with a giant army, It felt like you were going on a crusade the whole time, and you had banners and swords and armor, and you were just battling this evil force. And so, sonically, to kind of capture that, I feel that this record is theatrical, epic, grand sounding. I don't even know what. I would definitely say it's rock music. I mean, this is definitely a rock record. If you just do it honestly and sincerely as possible, and you just do that, people are going to listen to it. People are going to hear it. Like, sincerity is such a commodity these days that people are drawn to it, And if you're just yourself, actually, people are drawn to that, oddly enough, because we live in a world where nobody is themselves, And I think that's one of the messages in the record, too, is to really encourage people to be themselves, to take risks, to do whatever they want, to really live life. I think that's the biggest message of the record, is encouraging people to not throw away their life. It's okay to make mistakes. You're going to make them. You're human, and to pick yourself up and live through it. And I think by the end, that's what you get.
It almost didn't make the record, I guess. Yeah. It was one of those things where it was a vocal melody, and it was kind of cool. But like we worked on it a little bit, didn't really.
That the original version is like 7 minutes long.
That's true.
Yeah, the original version is. It's terrible. Literally, like the melody that carries that whole song, the chorus melody, was in the original version, possibly for like 15 seconds. It got written very fast. Once we were in LA and we started working on it, got written really fast. And what was cool about that, it's one of those songs on that record where everybody was just like throwing out ideas like, let's throw this like huge Queen solo in, and then let's do this like Cheap Trick, like I Want You to Want Me, live at Budokan, like drum break. Right. It was just like people throwing out like the most ridiculous thing they could think of, and that's how it came together.
It's got this energy live that's undeniable. So
something about that song that has never grown old.
When we got to play Continental Airlines Arena, it was really special to us. I know some of us had seen shows there growing up, and today it's even better because there's something like 40,000 people here. So it's good to be home,
I like how they've mashed the
Meadowlands Fair and the show together, because I've never been to a Meadowlands Fair. So this is my first fair and first show at the Meadowlands parking lot.
It's a rock carny.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Well, tonight I think we actually worked it out. So we're gonna do Black Parade straight through, and that means for us playing as the Black Parade, and then doing a switch and playing some Revenge material, and then saying goodnight. It's got like peaks and valleys and everything all through the set, just like the record was kind of designed to have. And so when you play that live, you shouldn't really have to play it in a different track order. So that's kind of what's awesome about it. We could play it straight through. Teenagers.
Yes.
That's so great.
Yeah, very excited about it. We finished it a while ago.
Yeah, it's in the can. There's almost, I would say, a very reminiscent of like a prison riot scene at the end of it. So there was some trampling involved. But I didn't really get hurt.
Got it.
Yeah, it just had the potential to be.
Yeah.
It was
Could've
scary
been
at
sketchy.
first. I think the more we did it, the less scary it got.
Well, sometimes you'll be like backstage and there'll be the kids that are like laying in these like in traction almost, like in the paramedics booth, and like they're in the bed and they have these things like stuck in their arms and they're like, you know, trying to resuscitate them, and all of a sudden you'll walk by and be like, oh my god, is she all right? And the girl will get up and be like, oh, Frankie, and like start like a conversation with you, and it's like, oh, okay,
That's happened.
Guess that worked.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to pajamas with the skeleton?
Oh, those, you know what? I have no idea where those are. They're too hot to sleep in anyway. That's when I would sleep naked, when I would go to bed with those on. And they were so hot I'd have to take them off. And I don't like sleeping naked, so.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a pajama kind of guy.
Wow.
Nah, they have to match too. They have
okay.
I like the bottoms and the t-shirt combo too, you know? Like the bottoms and the
Yeah, it's true.
t-shirt combo. Very excited. It's a great way to spend the summer, you know? And we've met Linkin Park a couple times, but then recently I got to do an interview with a couple of the guys, and they're the sweetest guys. They're so down to earth. It's gonna be a real chill summer. It's gonna be a really nice way to spend it. In 1996, the Smashing Pumpkins played here, and Mikey got me a ticket, and we're both
Good
huge.
little brother,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a good little brother, and huge fans of the band, both of us. You know, I think I'd actually turned you on to the band.
Yeah, he gave me the Today 7-inch. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yo,
And he
it wasn't
ended
even. It wasn't even a single. It was 7-inch.
That's awesome.
And then so he brought me here, and halfway through the show, he just turns to me and goes, I want to do this one day. This is what we should do. And I said, okay.
And the band was born.
You know what else is real weird?
Like about 5 years later.
The
maybe.
dude who designed the lights on their tour is the guy who works with us
Does our
now.
lights, Ethan,
His
yeah.
name's Ethan, yeah.
Same guy.
It's like amazing.
We were sitting right down there, past GA, past that section, and I think that slightly raised section, I believe, right,
I
Mikey?
think I have the stub at home somewhere. I could let you know in like a week.
We stopped doing jump
Yeah, we got
jacks.
a new one.
We just do a line
It's
of
secret.
a line of high fives.
Okay.
It's like crew
Yeah.
and the band. We do it every night, no matter where we are, no matter what show, even if it's like a TV performance. We line up, we do the high fives, and then that's it. We haven't done jumping jacks in a long time. I think because we started playing so many shows. I don't even think a lot. I think Bob's the only one that still warms up.
Really?
I think yeah. I don't warm up anymore. Like it's just gotten to that where you're just like it's so in your DNA. Like cereal, water, lots of coffee. What else?
Well, there's that one time, little Pop-Tarts. No, I was just thinking this funny story with Tab, remember? We didn't know if Tab was still around.
So we just put it on the rider.
So we put it on the rider. No, but it became real bad because
we got a lot of Tab.
Well, no, like a couple times I'd walk into catering and there'd be there'd be a mini refrigerator full of Tab, and it was half a joke, but I'd drink it once in a while.
Yeah, sometimes you'll put stuff on the rider to see if it exists anymore, like Ecto Cooler.
Ecto Cooler's the new one.
But Ecto Cooler does not exist anymore. I mean, that's the dream. That's the big one. Yeah. That's like if you'd asked when we started this band, like what our biggest dream was, it would be playing MSG, you know? And so after that, we're going to take some time off and make another record.